It's very simple test. As long as you study, you will do great, okay? Okay, now, I don't see where, hold on, they are still arriving. Okay, now I have several announcements before to continue with the class. As you see, if you, let me give you an advice, you should be keeping checking your platform because I have already 2 assignments. The first one is the project that I loaded up already, so you have enough time to start working in that now. Now in that document, I wrote that you were supposed to hand in this document next week. No, we're gonna give you an extra week. It's gonna be on week. Right now we're on week number 9. Right now. Next week's week number 10. That now and then you have to hand in this document on week 11. Okay, so in 2 weeks. So you have enough time to review to complete this assignment nicely. I mean, let's do this. And let's go. Let me show you guys. Okay, let me share the screen so you will be able to see what you have on the people are arriving late. Sun. Okay. Okay, let's begin. Where it is here now, it's already okay. Now, if we go to our platform economic section, then you will find over here this week as assignments. Okay, this week. Now, after this, you will find this one that it says economic final project instruction due date week 10. No, it's not 10. It's 11. I don't know if I can fix it here. Oh yeah, let me fix this. It's 11. It's 11. Okay. Let me go back. Let me go back and save it. Oh, okay. Variable further. Okay, now I'm gonna save it. Okay, this is your assignment for week 11. Now, you need to, I'm not gonna read this right now. I just wanna go straight to this. This is the information that you need to understand in order to hand in this project. Now, if you click over here, then you will see all the information. Now, this one is the rubric. And with this instrument, I'm gonna use it in order to evaluate these instructions. Okay, now if you click over here, you will see something like this, a Word document. Now in this Word document, you will find the system, well, you know, it's already is 11, okay? So the title of this, your project is History of the Economics in Panama. It means that you need to do a lot of research. Now, in this project, you must present a historical overview of how the economic was developing or evolving in Panama from its beginning on an independent nation, not before, since 1903, okay? On the present days, until the present day. Also, the students must refer in this research all the terms studied and discussed in class: scarcity, consume, all these terms, okay? Opportunity cost, all that. You have to mention it during you are doing this research, okay, about Panama's, how it began here in Panama, the economics, okay? Now, these are the section: presentation sheet, index, introduction, content, no more than 5 pages, the content, no more than 5, the summary, you need to do it no more than 5 pages, okay? Now you have to give me at least 3 conclusions, biography, and 10 words for the glossary, okay? Remember, glossary is like a dictionary. You have to write in the word and the meaning that it means, of course, okay? Okay, now over here, the next page, I give you more instructions. So how it has to be done. your project, okay? Now, you have to do it with Arial 12, 1.5 space. All pages need to be numbered. Justify the paragraph. Square text, is this one over here. This one. That's the justification. Now over here, this is only some examples how you're supposed to write sentences, because sometimes you don't know how to write sentences. You think writing sentences is just writing. That it's not like that. Sometimes our sentences that involve 3 lines, 2 lines, 1 lines. Okay. Now the paragraph. Usually the paragraph you make like 20 lines paragraph. No, a paragraph. If you open your book, your economic book, you see that your paragraph is around 10, 11 lines, no more than that. Okay, so that's why sometimes you create or you write a paragraph like 20 lines or 25 lines. That's not correct. Okay, so it's around a paragraph has to be contain around 5 sentences. Okay, or lines. This is only some suggestion for you to how to write this and not make this kind of common mistakes. Okay, now this is a presentation sheet that I want you have to do it like this. Okay, this is the sample that you have to take it. You have to use it. Subject economic, the project, you have the title that is up there, your name, the level, and the date, of course, is not 10. It's gonna be, let me check. It's gonna be 17. Yeah, it's gonna be 17, not 10. Okay, according to the new information that I just gave you guys. It's not for next week. It's for in 2 weeks, week 11. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on over here. I wrote some explanation of index, what it means over here. In this is list of logical order, the topic to be investigated in the final project. Okay, now introduction. Usually introduction is a review, a brief review of what you are going to talk in your investigation or in your research. That is an introduction, something brief that introduces you to the topic that you are going to research or investigate. Okay, now, and it has to be only no more than 5 pages. Okay, I don't want you to go further. Why? Because it's gonna be too tough for me to check all your documents if it's more than 5. So try to summarize all the history of economics here in Panama Inc. Try to summarize in only 5 pages. Okay, now please keep this in mind. I don't want you to copy and paste. I accept if you paraphrase. Remember, do not copy and paste. You can read it, and then you can rewrite it using your own words, not the exact word. You know how I am, and you had the experience with me when you were writing all the letters. Remember in your notebook. Remember when I was teaching you grammar, English. So please do not plagiarize. No hagan plagio. Don't do it. You know, I could take only the first line and put it in Google, and then he's gonna give me all the information, and then I'm not gonna continue checking your documents, so I'm gonna give you a 1, your evaluation. So please avoid getting in trouble. Avoid it. Got it. Okay. And the conclusion has to be at least 3 conclusions. Usually conclusion is something like this one. Like this one over here, there are some examples how you are supposed to write a conclusion. So I'm giving you all the hints, all the information that you need in order to write this document, guys. So you won't be, you shouldn't be having any kind of trouble. Biography, and if you're gonna make any cite or quotes, then this is the way you're supposed to write make the quote, and the glossary. Remember, no more than 10 words in the glossary. Now that is all for the project assignment. Okay, this is all for the project assignment. Now you can contact me after 12:45 until 2, even in the afternoon. You just write your questions. Teacher, I have some doubt in this section, and I'll try to um, solve your problem. Okay, so now this is just for this this all information for this section. Now we have another section over here. Now, and this is for next week, and I loaded up already. Okay, now this is a discussion forum. Okay, this is test number 2. You have tomorrow you're gonna have test number 1, and this is gonna be test number 2. And then the final project, that is your exam. It's like the trimester. Okay. Okay, then over here I load up a video that you have to watch it in order to understand. You need to watch this video, and then you need to answer. Or over here in the video there is a statement, and then you have to tell me why that statement stands for, or why this statement is true. Okay, now it says watch the video and find an answer to this statement. Economics explain every decision we make. Write at least 5 lines explaining this statement and support it. Support it. Now that answer, you are going to write it over here. Over here at the bottom, over here it says see discussion. Then you're gonna click over there, and then you're gonna write your answer to that statement. Okay, you need to write your answer in that statement. Also, that answer you need to write it in your notebook. Why? Because this assignment involves 2 moments. This is the first moment. Okay, do this during the weekend. Okay. On the weekend, work on this assignment and work on the project a little bit, okay? So you have to answer this statement that is over here on top, right on top over here at the beginning of this assignment. Economics explain every decision we make. And this guy over here in this video, they explain it very clearly, okay? And then you have to support it and give me examples, okay? Remember, 5 lines, that's the first moment. You have to write at the bottom, you have to write your answer and write it down also in your notebook. Write it in your notebook. Why? Because next week during our classes, we are going to discuss about each one of you answer to this statement, okay? Or point of view about this statement. Okay, now it says, on the other hand, the day when you are going to have the discussion, you need to talk about your answer in front of the camera. So everybody needs to open, to keep his or her camera on, so you will be able to listen to your explaining your point of view about this statement. Okay. Then remember, now this is the second moment. Okay, you have to talk about your thoughts, what you wrote in this discussion forum, and then you have to listen to another 2 students. Okay. Then remember, after expressing your ideas about this statement, you must listen to your other colleagues reflecting about their thoughts regarding the same statement, and then you must comment on 2 responses. Tienen que hacer comentarios de 2 estudiantes que hayan respondido. You need to make comments, any comment. For instance, Maria Centella, she answered, she explained her point of view, and she explained it nicely about this statement over here, okay? Economics explain every decision to make. And then she's gonna listen, let's say that she listens to Cedeño, and then she listens to Cifonte's opinion, and she decides she wants to make some comments about their way they express on think about this statement, okay? You have to make any comments, okay? Either to disagree or to support their point of view. So please, in that moment, in that second moment, you have to talk two times. One about your Cedeño and the other one about, what's the other person? Cedeño and the other person, I don't remember who was that I mentioned, okay? So Maria Centella need to talk 3 times. She need to talk 3 times. The first one, her thoughts about the statement, and the other 2 about the comments. And then remember, guys, you have to make comments, a very well organized comments, not only comments and say something, I agree with Cedeño says, and that's it. No, you're going to lose point. You need to support, you need to discuss, you need to, this is a discussion, you need to make a discussion, you need to express what's your opinions toward your friends' point of view, guys. You need to talk. If you don't talk and you express your ideas, then you won't get the maximum points here in this assignment. Okay, so that's up to you guys. It's not up to me. And also, I'm gonna have a rubrics that I'm going to use it in order to evaluate your presentation, your performance, not presentation, your performance in this discussion session. Are we clear, guys? So please, so you need to be ready for this, guys. And you have to be aware, you have to be focused. If you're not focused, you know what you're gonna get, guys. So please, from now, I'm telling you, you need to be well prepared for this activity. I know that Maria Centella, she had experience already, or was the other one, Munoz, and the other one who belonged to the debate group, maybe. They got experience, but now you guys, is your turn to express yourself, and you need to talk. Not only to say, I agree with what she said, that's it. No, that's not an opinion. That is a supporting, okay? So that doesn't count. So please, please, please prepare. You are in high school, guys. You're about to go to college. You're about to go to university. So you need to know how to express your thoughts, your ideas, your disagreements, everything. That's the idea of this assignment, okay? It's 8:23. Then I'm gonna take that short time to continue with the class, okay? During the class, the last class, we were talking about several things, the graphic, and I guess you finished, you did your assignment. I'm gonna pretend, I'm not gonna ask it today, maybe next week, because tomorrow you have your test and you won't be able to show it to me. But I'm gonna pretend that you did it, okay? Your assignment. Remember the assignment that I left for you last week? Remember this one? Hello, you. This one, remember? I hope you have done it. I hope. I want to think that you did it. Okay? So please, you better do it, okay? If you haven't done it, you better do it. So we talk also about micro and microeconomic, microeconomic and macroeconomic, micro and macro, sorry, micro and macro. Yes, that's the way to pronounce it. So we talk about micro and macroeconomics. Now there's another term that we need to be aware of it. And these terms is this one is let me see, too far on this one. No, it's not this one. Economic is positive. This one. Positive economics and normative economics. It says a positive economic is a way of describing and explaining economic as it is, as the economic is, the way it is, not as it should be, okay? So this is the tricky part. This is the core of this definition. They explain economic as it is, not as it supposed to be, or it should be. Positive economic involves verifiable facts, not value judgment, okay? Now, on the other hand, normative economics is a way of describing and explaining what economic behavior debería ser, ought to be, not what is actually. Okay, now, maybe you didn't get it. Anyway, let's play this video in order for you to try to understand these definitions. Yes, let's play this one.
Hi everyone, Dave for Quick Econ. In this video, we're going to look at the difference between positive and normative economics. When speaking about economic hypotheses, the way you phrase your statement is actually a pretty big deal. And in economics, we can broadly define a statement as positive or normative economics. Now, when you think of the phrase positive, you might think of something that's good or something that's true or something that you agree with. That's actually not the case. A positive economic statement is just a simple statement about what is, was, or will be. It's often written in an if-then form. If A happens, then B will follow. Now, this is important because it's written or spoken in a way that allows it to be tested with data. We can use economic data. We can look at the numbers to see if the statement is true or false. And what's important to know is that it's not always true. A positive statement could be a false statement. Normative statements, on the other hand, are values, opinions, or judgments. We ask, do we think this is good or bad? And we can look for phrases like, I think we should do this, we ought to do that, or everyone should do this. It's a statement of opinion that cannot be tested to be true or false. Now, the easiest way to learn about positive versus normative is to just look at a couple of examples. So examine the following statement. On average, people tend to shop at Walmart more after they get a pay raise. Now, you might look at that statement and say, well, that's probably false, and maybe it is, but it's still a positive statement. We can look at people's income data, we can look at shopping data, and we can see, is this statement true or false? Now, the following statement, everyone should shop at Walmart, that's a normative statement. We cannot test that with data. You look at that word and you see should. That's an opinion. We can't prove that true or false. Now, a big pitfall with positive and normative is that we often make the mistake of looking at a normative statement and agreeing with it, and therefore say that it's a positive statement. Look at the following example. Rich people need to pay more taxes. Now, many of you would say, sure, that's true, I agree with that, that's positive economics. But there's some problems with that statement. Number one, the word rich is poorly defined, and also the way it's written, we can't prove or disprove it. Rich people need to pay more taxes. Well, should they? Shouldn't they? Well, we can't prove that. It's normative even though you may agree. Now, if you were to rewrite that statement to say, if families with incomes over $250,000 per year paid higher taxes, overall tax revenues would increase. That is a positive statement. You can look at what happens to tax rates and tax revenues. You can see the relationship over time. It's a statement that you can test with data. Now, in reality, of course, we generally prefer positive statements because we like to see if our hypotheses can be backed up with real-life data and real-life numbers. But normative statements do play a role in society, especially in legislation where we're examining policies with the goals of fairness in mind. And of course, fair is a normative word.
Okay, guys. As I think that to go to our next class. So see you next tomorrow. Yes, you have to test tomorrow. So see you tomorrow, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.